Day two of the defamation trial between Billy Mitchell and Karl Jobst continued to be intense, focusing heavily on Billy's cross-examination and a series of revelations that cast doubt on Billy's credibility. The day began with a crucial legal battle over whether Karl's defense could use evidence from the Twin Galaxies (TG) case, such as depositions and discovery materials, to challenge Billy's testimony. Billy's team argued that the material was illegally obtained and protected by a confidentiality order, but Karl's defense maintained that the evidence was vital to the case. Billy's attorney, BB, introduced affidavits from Billy's son, Billy Mitchell Jr., Billy 4, and U.S. Attorney Anthony Elrod to support the claim that the TG materials should be excluded. However, the judge questioned the timing of these objections, noting that Billy's team had waited until the trial began to raise the issue. Karl's barrister, KB, emphasized that these objections should have been addressed months earlier, giving Karl's team time to respond and challenge the protective order in the U.S. Ultimately, the judge ruled that Karl's team could use the TG evidence in cross-examination, delivering a significant blow to Billy's case. During this legal back and forth, an unexpected event occurred. One of the regular court attendees handed the writer a note, revealing that Billy had been texting his son during the trial. While the exact content of the messages wasn't confirmed, this raised serious concerns since Billy 4 is a witness in the case. Witnesses aren't supposed to communicate about the trial before giving their testimony, and deleting such messages could have had major implications in the context of the trial. Although this incident didn't formally come up in court, it certainly raised eyebrows among the courtroom spectators. After the judge's ruling on the TG evidence, the cross-examination of Billy Mitchell resumed. KB wasted no time in challenging Billy's claims. One of the first issues raised was about Billy's Guinness World Records and whether Twin Galaxies was the sole source verifying Billy's achievements. Billy tried to downplay TG's role, but KB produced Billy's 2019 legal threat letter, which explicitly stated that TG was the source of verification for Guinness. This contradiction put Billy on the defensive as he struggled to maintain his version of events. Next, KB focused on Billy's infamous response video to Karl's accusations. Billy had testified that Karl's video made him physically ill, leading to vomiting and significant weight loss. However, KB pointed out that Billy's response video reproduced the exact sections of Karl's video that Billy had claimed traumatized him. When asked why he would include these parts if they had caused him so much distress, Billy claimed that everyone watching his video had already seen Karl's. KB pressed him, suggesting that Billy's actions didn't align with someone who had been deeply hurt by the video. Billy grew defensive and agitated, insisting that his response was necessary to address the accusations, though his reasoning seemed to falter under scrutiny. One of the most significant moments came when KB confronted Billy about his text messages regarding Apollo Legends' death. Billy had sent messages to Carlos Pinero and Jace Hall joking about Apollo's death, writing, "If it is true, I will not shed a tear. I will try my very hardest not to smile or giggle." Billy admitted in court that he regretted making these comments, but he defended them as dark humor and insisted that he didn't believe Apollo had actually died at the time. KB pressed him on whether he had considered how Apollo's family, especially his mother, would feel about these remarks. Billy admitted that he hadn't thought about their feelings, but maintained that he didn't believe Apollo was dead when he made the jokes. As KB continued, more of Billy's texts were revealed, including one where Billy joked about buying Todd Rogers a pizza in connection with Apollo's death. Throughout this portion of the cross-examination, Billy repeatedly referred to his comments as dark humor, expressing regret for making them. However, KB's questioning highlighted the damage Billy's own words had done to his reputation, far beyond anything Karl's video could have caused. The repeated emphasis on dark humor seemed like a rehearsed defense strategy, but KB effectively undermined it by pointing out how these remarks, regardless of intent, painted a negative picture of Billy. The cross-examination then moved to Billy's claims of financial loss due to Karl's video. KB systematically dismantled Billy's argument that the video caused him to lose paid appearances and business opportunities. One key event was Music City Multicon in 2021, where Billy initially testified that he wasn't paid for his appearance. However, KB produced an invoice showing that Billy was set to receive $4,000 for the event. Confronted with this evidence, Billy attempted to shift his story, claiming that he had been referring to a different year. KB pointed out that the invoice was clearly dated for 2021, contradicting Billy's earlier testimony and calling into question his claims of financial harm. KB also examined Billy's participation in other events, such as Free Play Florida and the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. Billy had claimed that these events stopped booking him after Karl's video was released, but evidence showed that Billy had continued attending these events and even sold merchandise there. This cast doubt on Billy's narrative that Karl's video had caused significant financial damage to his career. It became increasingly clear that Billy's claims of lost income were not as solid as he had presented. Another important moment in the day involved Billy's 2015 lawsuit against Cartoon Network, where Billy had claimed that the network used his likeness for the character Garrett Bobby Ferguson. While BB objected to this line of questioning, it was relevant because it helped establish a pattern of litigious behavior by Billy. KB used this to suggest that Billy frequently resorted to legal action to defend his reputation, which was a core issue in the current case as well. Toward the end of the day, KB returned to the Twin Galaxies dispute, specifically the February 2018 post by Jeremy Young on the Donkey Kong forum, which accused Billy of using MAME software to cheat. Billy denied the accusation, but the post was a reminder of the original controversy that had sparked the current legal battles. It also reinforced the underlying question of Billy's credibility and integrity in the gaming community. Before the day ended, KB focused on Billy's claims of damages in both the Twin Galaxies case and the current defamation trial. He pointed out that Billy seemed to be claiming damages for the same events in both cases, raising concerns about the consistency of his statements. Billy responded that his son, Billy Jr., had handled many of the details in the TG case and that he couldn't recall all the specifics from 6 years ago. KB highlighted the potential double-dipping of damage claims, further calling into question Billy's credibility. By the end of day 2, the cross-examination had exposed significant contradictions in Billy's testimony, particularly around his financial losses and his handling of the aftermath of Karl's video. The introduction of the TG materials allowed Karl's defense to challenge Billy's statements and highlight discrepancies between his claims in the TG case and the current defamation trial. Billy's increasingly defensive and emotional demeanor suggested that the pressure was building, and with more cross-examination to come, the trial was far from over.